I travel a lot for this channel, and a lot of people wonder, oh, Brian, if you're so poor, as you claim to be, how could you possibly travel this much? Well, I've got some tips and tricks I am here to share with you and give you some inside scoop. The short answer is I drive quite a bit. I use charger miles quite a bit. I use frequent flyer miles quite a bit, and I sleep on couches when I must. Let's get into it. There's going to be a whole lot here, so I hope it helps. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So Sky Miles, that's the first answer. I will share more about that a little bit later on, but it is the cat's meow. It is the best way to do it. You can sign up for a variety of cards where you get a promotional offer. I've done that a few times, and I get a flight or two or three out of it. And then I use the card for some time, maybe months, maybe a year before I cancel it. Maybe one card I still have that I still use. We'll get into it. So the first thing is book early. I know it sounds easy, but if you book early, you're going to save money. Flights, the closer you get to your departure date, the more expensive they get. And if you're going somewhere important, hotels can book up too. When I tried to go down for the launch of the Starship test flight, I had very few options. And then I checked a few days later and saw the options were even fewer. But fortunately, I was able to get a refund on that because the weather came through. The flight did not happen. Book early and save. That's the big key. Drive there. I do a lot of driving. When I go to anything on the West Coast, I drive. Even if it's Los Angeles, I probably will drive. I've flown to San Francisco maybe once in my whole life. And that was a company thing. I wasn't paying for it. I've flown to San Diego and LA a couple times, but now that I have the ability to do the drive and people to see along the way, I would drive every time. And I can charge for cheap. It's not just me that can charge for cheap. I've had the luxury of having free supercharger miles thanks to referrals that people have used. That's been helpful. But there are other ways to charge on the cheap. If you're at your friend's house, ask if you can plug in. You're going to draw like 50 cents to maybe $4 or $5 worth of juice. Just offer to pay them. It's vastly cheaper than going to a supercharger and cheaper still than going to a DC fast charger that is not Tesla branded. You can charge for cheap. And if that's not enough, go to a better route planner and find out if there are places you can go. Go to PlugShare and plug it in. And you can search for places that are free, that have free charging. You may need to download an app or 2 or 10, but free charging is free charging. And if that's what makes your travel budget work, then there you go. It's great because it's a lot of times it'll be at supermarkets or shopping malls, and you can just plug in and leave your car for some period of time. On road trips, you could go to I see people at the Vancouver Mall who will go there at night, plug in, and then sleep in their car. I don't know how that works, but if I could have done that, if there was a way for me to get my car down the road when I was a teenager, I would have done it. And also in my 20s and probably 30s. All of those things are ways you can do it. And then not just driving there, getting that discount, not just using referral credits, but also stay with friends. When I went to Austria, I spent most of my time either at the home of Jan Vogel from TeslaFix or sharing a hotel that we chipped in on together. Much cheaper to get a hotel with 2 beds, even though he accidentally booked it with 1 double bed. It was off-peak season. We were able to get them to switch us at no cost. Disappointing, really. But yeah, you can, and then many events I'll go to. There'll be enough of us that we can share an Airbnb. And sometimes when I'm not staying with friends or staying in a Airbnb that I am chipping in on, people will offer to pay for my Airbnb for me because of the channel, because they know that I'm not making money. And because if they're dividing it by 6 ways versus 7, it's a very small add-on to have an extra Brian around. And then I just make sure that I'm a very gracious house guest, that I clean up behind myself, that I, don't make noise, don't make a mess, all that. So yeah, that's a big way to do it. So now let's get to Sky Miles, because there's a bunch of ways to do it. The most recent one I tried out was American Airlines. I was on a flight on American because it was very, very cheap. And so cheap that I didn't want to use my miles. And on that flight, they had a little brochure that said, hey, if you sign up right now, you'll get, I forget, like 100,000 miles. And we have flights starting as low as 25,000 miles. It is not a good deal. First, you have to pay your annual fee up front. So they got your $99 either way. And for that $99, I was like, well, at least I'll get a couple flights out of it. And I did not. I got one flight. Because when you go to their page to book it, you put in your destination and it says, oh, you want to go to Chattanooga. That's what I use my American Airlines on. And I said, yeah, those miles, I want to use them for Chattanooga. They go, great. You can get it for $25,000. It'll take you 2 days each direction. What? Yeah, you'll be sleeping in airports. You'll have 18-hour layovers, but you can upgrade. You can get a more direct path, and it'll be 3 flights. As what? Oh, so I've got a less painful flight, but still not a very good flight, and it did use up all 100,000 miles. So when I return from Chattanooga, I will be canceling my American Airlines card and politely inviting them. I did check other destinations and found the same sorts of nonsense. Don't bother with that one. I've heard people say good things about Alaska's card. The biggest thing you want, though, in a card is make sure the miles don't expire. So I haven't used Alaska. I believe that also has an upfront annual fee. I use Delta, the Amex Delta Gold frequent flyer mile card. I don't remember. I got something like maybe it was 30,000 miles to sign up. I think it was 60. Some people I've seen get 90,000 miles as a sign up bonus. I don't remember, but expect it to be in the 30 to 60,000 mile range when you sign up. Everyone's credit's different. And I will have a link for that I'll hide in the description so you can check it out. But it's only for friends and family. It's not a promotion. If you're not my friend or family member, you're not supposed to use it. I'll go on the honor system on this one, because if you sign up for that, I would get a bonus as well. They would give me, I don't remember, 5,000 or 10,000 Sky Miles. But the idea is you sign up for it, and if you are approved, there's a spend requirement. It might be $1,000 or $2,000 over a certain period of time, and then they award you the miles. So what I did is I just put all my expenses on it. I set my auto pay up to auto pay the full amount in full every month. So I'm using it just like a debit card. And every dollar I spend gives me a mile. So once you spend that $2,000 or $3,000, whatever it is, it's different for everyone, I think. Then not only do you get your 60,000 miles or 90,000, whatever it is they give you, but you also get the 3,000 for whatever you just spent. So it's kind of great because we put just everything on it. Anything I would need to buy, all my groceries, all my everything, my clothes, my back to school supplies, whatever it may be, just put it on there, get miles. And they frequently have promotions where it's like, oh, this month it's double miles for restaurants or who knows, whatever. Yeah, and it racks up. On that. And once you get the Delta Gold Amex, you get priority seating, you get one free checked bag for nothing. So what I wanted to show you, because this is actually where the rubber meets the road, is, well, what kind of flight can I get? So I just pulled 4 examples. I pulled these a couple weeks ago, so if they're a little out of date, I apologize. Detroit to San Francisco, 44,000 miles. That's not super exciting. But let's go here. JFK to Paris, 27,000 miles plus $129. There's always going to be a plus. That's the airport fees. That's non-negotiable. But that if you only got 60,000 bonus miles, you could get 2 tickets to Paris for just the taxes from New York. That's crazy. Similar kind of deal. LAX, so Los Angeles to Austin, 20,000 miles. That would get you 3 flights, 3 round trip tickets. That's crazy. And Seattle to Austin, as low as 12,700 miles. 12,700 miles. Now, if you book last minute, these go sky high, but the same is true of the dollars. So this is why I've been able to go to Austin so many times. I've never once paid for that flight. Why would I? So yeah, it's pretty good. And that's how that works. In the description for this video, I will put the referral link so you could get, so that not only could you apply for that one if you want it, but you could also, I would also get a referral bonus for doing that. That'd be cool. That would help me go on my more adventures. I don't use it for everything. Sometimes the routes don't work. International routes especially, you'll find that if they don't fly direct to there, if they have to use one of their partner airlines, the amount of miles you're spending goes up a bit. But if it's anywhere domestic to them, it works. Yeah. So, and then if you're spending, I mean, I don't know what you're spending money on, but if you're spending money, you could easily rack up a flight every year or two. Uh, and if you don't like it, cancel it. See if it works. See if you're actually using it. If not, by all means, get rid of it. And on the American Express one, I know when you cancel, they say, hey, don't cancel. Just switch to the one that doesn't have an annual fee and we'll still give you some miles. So you can do that too. But I like having the priority seating and the free Wi-Fi and all that. It's wonderful. So that's how Brian gets around on the cheap. Yeah. So awesome. Great to get out there, see all you guys. I'll be seeing you in Chattanooga this coming weekend. I'll be out in Michigan in June. I'll be at the Shanghai Auto Show in April. I'll be in Mexico City in May. I'll be at the X Takeover in July. I'll be everywhere, man. Like everywhere. If you want to help out with any of my travels, you certainly can do that. You don't have to, but it is appreciated. Every bit helps. You can get some bonus content because I'm releasing a lot of bonus material on all three of the platforms, on X, on Patreon, on YouTube. So what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? If you've got great travel tips, drop them down below. I'd love to hear. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hit you, clever robots. No, don't do that to clever robots. To hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop.